We've just pulled into our campsite here in the Great Smoky Mountains, and this is a trip that we've been trying to plan for the longest time ever, and we actually came very close to coming a couple weeks ago when it was peak foliage, but unfortunately an incident happened and we had to turn around, cancel, and postpone our trip until now. And currently the mountains are kind of moving into the winter season, so although we did miss peak foliage, it is still beautiful out, and it's actually still a little bit warm, which is great because we're gonna be sleeping in a tent tonight. As you can see, Chad has packed our car completely full of camping supplies. We're gonna unload everything and make our campsite nice and homey.
We gave it so many chances. When we saw the signs, we just kept dancing, and the nights always seemed so endless. Thought it would last, now it's in the past.
So interesting little story about this tent. I don't think it's like the highest quality tent or whatever, but I was actually kayaking with my professor back in college. We went over to this nearby island because we went to school in Savannah, and from Tybee there's like this other island, and I guess some campers had left behind their tent because it was completely abandoned and it was full of sand. But we decided to pack up this tent, and it is now mine, and I've been using it for the past few years. We brought it in the van with us, and it's been a good little tent.
We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. Getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at trying, but we can keep trying, cause we only end up on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at flying, but we can keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. So good at trying, but we can keep trying. We only end up on the wrong side of the mountain.
While Chad was setting up our tent, I was setting up our little kitchen. I actually have something very exciting planned for tonight. It's not gonna be something from my van life cookbook. It's gonna be something new, and I was actually inspired by our trip to Peru. So while we were there, the locals would often serve us this really delicious quinoa soup, and it was like the heartiest thing ever, like pure comfort food. I'm gonna try to remake it tonight. And so we've got our quinoa, a delicious superfood, some nice veggies, some chicken. I think it's gonna make a really great meal tonight.
Claire has just added the quinoa, and now it is time to build a fire, which is always our favorite time of night. It provides light and heat and warmth for the heart and mind and soul. Anyways, let's get started.
The soup is complete and it is taste test time.
My favorite time of night.
Yeah, I've been tasting it while I've been cooking, but Chad has like no idea what it tastes like. All right, little cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And blow it to make sure you don't burn.
I just got a piece of chicken. It was really good.
I got a piece of potato and I was afraid it wasn't gonna be soft enough, but it was very, very soft. Obviously not as good as the potato that was in Peru, but I will say this is still pretty good.
This is, yeah, all the flavors blend together really well. Great job, Claire.
Thanks, Chubbs.
Pretty warm.
Yeah.
So we just spent the last hour and a half probably reading with this lantern by the fire. And recently Claire has actually gotten me into reading. She'll read a book, pass it over to me, and it has been such a relaxing experience. I actually had a headache tonight and it was killing me. But as I started to read, I think it was caused just by like anxiety in general. And as I was able to kind of get my mind off of things and just focus on a story, my headache is like completely gone away, which has just been amazing.
Yeah, I think that reading has really helped both of us with our mental health. And it's just kind of like this really awesome escape into a fantasy world. And it kind of leaves like the hardships of reality behind, which I absolutely love. And also just having a physical book. That has been one of my favorite things ever since we've gotten home. And that's something I missed so much when we were traveling. I'd always say like, oh, I don't want to bring a book because it takes up so much space. But I think moving forward, I'm gonna make the space to bring a physical book because it makes all the difference, like feeling the paper between my fingers when I'm reading through and just seeing like the texture on the paper when I'm reading. It's been amazing.
It's so relaxing. And honestly, Claire's found a lot of writers that are just incredible at writing. It's been inspiring us both a lot. It's amazing how they're able to just say so much in so little or few words.
I mean, we love supporting artists, and writers are obviously some of the best creators out there, so it's just been really fun diving into their world. But with that, I think we're gonna read a little bit more tonight and then we'll probably go to bed because tomorrow is going to be a big day of hiking and just spending some time out in nature. So, nighty-night.
Night-night, guys. Good morning, guys, from day 2 in the Smokies. We actually woke up to the sound of the rain, which is very nice, but we won't be cooking breakfast here since it is raining. Claire's brushing her teeth. I've already brushed my teeth, but I think we're gonna head farther into the park and try to find some sort of like camp shelter that we can go and make some breakfast.
Seeing that we do not have our van anymore, we had to transform my sister's CRV into something where we can make our breakfast this morning. And so I have plans to make French toast along with some like little mini slider sandwiches. And we're gonna make do with what we have.
Yes, this rain is relentless, but the view is amazing. Do you hear that? And it smells like the soup last night. Thank you for holding it.
Very scary when you're pouring.
I know. Just finished making my cup of coffee and I have to say that the wait was well worth it. It's about 12 o'clock now, so not too late in the afternoon. We're gonna start eating soon, but this, it's amazing how these simple things can just make me so happy. The rain is finally fading as well, so we're just gonna enjoy our meal before hitting the road again.
We ended up only making the French toast because as we were eating it, kind of hit like a brick in our stomachs and we were very full now. So we're gonna go on a hike and then we'll come and eat our little sandwiches later. But there is this hike that we missed the last time we came to the Smoky Mountains and we're gonna go do it today. We have set off on the Alum Cave Bluff Trail, and something that I just love about the Smoky Mountains is that when it rains, it actually becomes very, very foggy, and it just makes it seem more magical and mysterious, and I absolutely love it. So I actually think that we came on the perfect day when it is kind of rainy.
I was never the one to give up the ghost, no, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Cause I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Claire accidentally wore a sweatshirt and she's dying.
I thought it was gonna be cold. Should have worn shorts on the top and the bottom.
So seeing that Claire and I did not intentionally miss peak season and we're here right after, we didn't realize how peaceful it would be because there's a lot less people here. I think it's also because of the rain, but it's also so quiet because there are no leaves left on the trees. All we can hear is the slushing of our feet in the mud and a few birds. And Claire is laughing that I said slushing.
Squelching, it's a better word. We have officially made it into the clouds and we are at Inspiration Point, and we actually just passed by this guy who was like hiking barefoot, which I just thought was very interesting because I know my feet could definitely not walk on sharp rocks and sticks and maybe mud, but other than that I don't think it could handle this terrain. That's something I think would be really cool if I could do one day. But another observation I had just like while hiking is, you know, like how your hair just gets really dark once it gets wet? Well, it's kind of the same thing for the forest. So once it rains, everything becomes very dark and contrasted. And I think that visibility just becomes more crisp. And you can see almost every strand of every stick on every tree out there. And it was exceptional. We are now trying to decide if we should keep going so that we can see Alum Cave or if we should turn around.
I think we're gonna keep going though. We're feeling good.
I am feeling pretty good. Yeah, let's keep going.
I think I fully understand why they call it the Smoky Mountains now, because the clouds have just been rolling through.
My question for Chad is, why did you think it was called the Smoky Mountains?
Full smoke today. I don't like the sound of smoke though. It's like they're burning, or something's burning. Foggy mountains. Once we made it to Alum Cave, we stopped, had a sandwich, and Claire was looking off at this squirrel. And I was looking at the mountains because they had completely opened up. So Claire was looking at the scroll, it was very cute, and I was like, Claire, look. And then she was like, oh, wow. So, 2 for 1. The mountains opened up and that squirrel was very cute.
Yeah. We just finished up around 5 miles of hiking and we are about to head over to Clingman's Dome, which was one of the first stops on our U.S.A. van life road trip. I actually believe it was our second night in the van. We parked in the parking lot that night, which we were not allowed to do, but when we were first starting off in van life, we were completely oblivious, just parking wherever. We slowly learned where to actually park later on. But that night we were able to watch it go from dusk all the way to dawn, and there are just clouds floating out into the horizon line, and it was so, so beautiful. And tonight we're gonna go and relive that and go back down memory lane.
I'm out of breath. You whisper gently to the silent trees. I won't forget. You know the secrets of the late night breeze. Oh, it's all pretend. So don't you worry now. Don't you worry now. All this soon will end. Don't you worry. Don't you worry now, all this soon will end. Yeah, don't you worry now, don't you worry now, my
We just witnessed one of the most captivating sunsets of our entire lives. I think it was just so special because the scene was constantly changing. It felt like I was standing in the middle of a whirlwind. And because it was so windy, the clouds were just blowing all around us and just opening little pockets of glory when you could see the mountains in the sunset.
Yeah, I think it was really fun because you'd look off in a direction and you'd have no idea what it was gonna look like, but it would open up, and with the sun setting, it was actually casting light up onto the clouds like above us. So it was just so glorious.
Part 2 of our wellness series here in the Smoky Mountains has done us so well for both our mental and physical health, and I'm just so glad that we got to come back here. But we are moving on to another city so that we can continue on with our health and wellness journey. So if you'd like to come along, hit subscribe as we travel to 50 countries around the world. And as always, a very big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. You all are thebum.com. And with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. All the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better.